Good evening. These are the week's headline entertainment stories. Titters and tears as Richard and Judy bow out. Backstreet Boy in booze binge battle. Depressed AJ checks into rehab. Potter's broomstick bungle, a British witch casts a spell on the Harry film. And putting the Catatonia among the showbiz pigeons, Cerys Matthews is tonight's Liquid star turn. Hello, my name is Christopher Price. Welcome to our Thursday night compilation of the last 7 days in the entertainment world. Good to have you with us. But we begin with tears, salty tears, in fact, with perhaps just a hint of vodka. After 13 years of mild-mannered chatter, makeovers and mammary calamities, Richard and Judy have hosted their final This Morning show for ITV. For the network, it's a trauma that even Dr. Raj Persaud might struggle to come to terms with. For the rest of us, taking sick leave will never be the same again. Reporting for Liquid News, Rebecca Lovell.
Hello.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
All right?
I'm all right.
No tears?
No, not yet.
No?
No.
There were a few a minute ago.
I know.
I was worried.
I'm all right.
Richard and Judy throwing in ITV's Showbiz towel. It wasn't just appointment to view TV for me. They've been the jewel in ITV's daytime crown since this morning's launch in 1988.
It's strangely fascinating sometimes. It can be like watching a car accident in that everything's going disastrously wrong, but you can't take your eyes off it. Other times it's just strangely entertaining for the bizarre guests they have on, the topics they discuss.
The husband and wife team brought a US-style format to this country that many critics said would never work. But the ratings had the BBC running scared. Scared enough to release their own suburban couple on the nation.
And Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
So to speak.
Not for long, however. Richard and Judy's testicular testing and Ali G impressions remained unbeatable 5 days a week. Even moments that might have finished many a showbiz career just won the couple more fans.
To the viewers, thank you very much.
But behind-the-scenes battles are well documented in the press, with an unusually high staff turnover and private criticism of the high-maintenance stars, with items regularly being dropped while titles were running. Even the showbiz family had it tough.
They wouldn't accept you as an expert simply because you're a consultant psychiatrist at a top teaching hospital and you have lots of degrees and diplomas. They were quite rightly, I think, not reverential to experts. Really, your advice had to stand the test of actually appearing to make sense and to work.
After a private party in the studio, Richard and Judy left the building for the last time.
We'll never, I was just telling everyone, we'll find it very, very hard to enjoy a job as much as this one ever again, but we'll try. We'll try very hard.
It's Channel 4 who bought the new sofa to accommodate the showbiz couple in a deal estimated to be worth £2 million. The idea is that Richard and Judy will be taking their ITV audience with them. Rebecca Lovell, BBC News.
I don't know if I can go on with the show after that, but I will. Sitting pretty on the Liquid News banquette tonight are Richard and Judy friend and former regular Claudia Winkleman. Also with us is that fine stallion from our entertainment news commentator stable. It's Mr. Iain Lee. And we're also delighted to welcome Cerys Matthews from Catatonia, who is, they're all back with a new single after a fairly substantial break, can I say?
Yes.
Well, it's good to see you. Everyone's looking very well, if not a little bit upset after this morning show. Claudia, friend to the stars, you work with them.
Yes.
How were you this morning?
I welled, I have to say, because I thought they did it brilliantly this morning because they were brave and they were strong and they sat there and they said, this is not going to get to us. And just at the end, I was at home going,
Good morning to all of you.
because I've woken up to it every day for the last 13 years.
13
yeah.
years.
Why was the show such a winner? Because it's not just because of the fact
they
that
were
they're
honest.
married. Oh, right, OK.
I think they were honest. And I think the marrying thing helps because you're actually watching, you know, live arguments that are real and not fake. And I thought they loved the viewers. They were always very nice to me. I loved them.
It was watchable because Judy was good, Richard was a massive tit. That's it.
Do you think that's what...
You know, men hate Richard.
I know, I
don't they?
do.
Men have a problem with it.
Really?
It's brilliant because he does say silly things.
Yeah.
But he can't believe what he gets away with saying or what he dares to say.
Yeah.
But that's why I love him because
'Cause it's
otherwise
not
you're going to have Tony
manicured.
Blair sitting there with Judy. Now that wouldn't be any fun at all.
That would be all right every morning.
No,
wouldn't it?
too much. No.
No, I
Cerys,
agree.
was there ever a time during that 18 months, because Goodness knows I've been there, a slightly soiled dressing gown, maybe picking through the remains of last night's kebab. Have you been there in the past over the 18 months holiday? Because goodness knows I have.
It was mostly before we started, like, before we had a record deal or anything. It used to be like Richard and Judy tastic.
Yeah.
Every day was fantastic. Yeah, it was brilliant. And I learned more about my menopause or my periods or my PMT from Richard than anyone I know.
We stopped talking about those things. God's sake.
Ian, that is a point. They famously, daytime, showed male genitalia because of testicular cancer.
That was the low point of this morning.
No, it was important.
Did you not
It
learn?
was important, but I didn't need to see a cock there, did I? Richard's there, that's enough.
You might not know.
That's plenty, I don't want another one.
Prepare that.
Well, just fine. Is anyone in a couple? I know you don't have any friends or lady boys.
Yeah, I'm in a couple. Shut up. What are you
Would you
talking about?
present that?
Oh, yeah, my girlfriend would love that, doing Richard and Judy.
Cerys dating at the moment?
I'm not sure quite, really.
But you wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, you in a dilemma? Tell us about your
Let's
dilemma.
sort that out.
No.
Do you know, I'm just going to rescue Cerys like the gentleman I am and just move on.
Scoop.
Up next, has one of the Backstreet Boys been on one too many benders? It's Liquid Music. This is Liquid Music news, I was about to say. Now, serious story. The Backstreet Boys have been forced to postpone the rest of their North America tour because one pint-sized member has had half a shandy too many. AJ McLean's been sent to rehab to undergo treatment for depression and alcohol abuse, namely mixing decent vodka with pineapple juice. For Liquid News, Alex Stanger reports on the boozy tears behind the boy band smiles.
It was first announced on their website, and then in true pop star fashion, the lads spilled the beans on a TV show.
He doesn't have a mean bone in his body, and he wouldn't do anything to disrespect any of us. But because he had such a problem, it was changing his personality.
AJ McLean's traded in the backstreet jet-set lifestyle for the clean white sheets of rehab. He's suffering from depression and alcohol abuse, which was, according to the Backstreet banter, brought on by the recent death of his granny. AJ's being put up at an unnamed rehab centre for the next 30 days, which means he won't be available to burn his Backstreet bra on their multi-million-dollar tour. The boys' clean image machine's now showing signs of breaking down.
It's about his life and who he is. And that's the most important thing.
We're concerned about him, number one.
And I think he's gonna be able to do it. I do. I don't think that there's an end to this group until one of us dies.
This year-long tour was expected to earn the lads $350 million and give them the chance to replace the Rolling Stones as the world's #1 live band. Unlike the aging rockers, their audience are comprised of fans like these girls who spent days trying to see their idols at a London record signing last year. As the boys become men, their fan base remains an alcohol-free underage.
We've got the Westlife boys who are self-confessed lovers of the old pint. I think it's recognition of the fact that fans are wanting to see them roughened up a bit. You know, maybe they should kind of let their goatee beard run wild or something like that, I don't know.
AJ's expected to be reunited with his bandmates on August the 7th to pick up the rest of the tour. With his colleagues standing firmly behind him, it remains to be seen if his fans across the Atlantic will do the same. Alex Stanger, BBC News.
Ian, even you cynical little man, you must have been moved by Nick's tears, tears.
I was moved to the fact that all his mates, the rest of the Backstreet Boys, were upset, but then Cerys, a bit nasty, said, oh look, he's got a bottle of vodka up his sleeve, he's drinking it like that on stage. I thought that was
That's an accurate quote.
Did you see that? No, there was a very slick manoeuvre there by AJ on stage.
Now, Cerys, in the past, looking through the research, booze has played a part in the Catatonia life.
One of the pressures of this pop singing malarkey. You've got to lubricate the old vocal cords.
I mean, you threw a television out of a hotel window. Unfortunately, you were on the first floor.
No, it was my own house. I was a bit dyslexic of the rock and roll jargon thing, and I threw it out of my own house, and yes, it was my own TV.
Nice. Do you find, though, because there was that quote, which was just a joke at the time about, you know, smack and heroin and all that kind of, which was a joke in which you were attracted.
Yeah.
You said that if a friend of yours was a heroin dealer, then you'd get some dirt cheap supply, which you retracted, and there was a big hoo-ha over this technical word. Do you find that you have to worry about what you say, just jokes about booze or drugs or anything?
But that was said in such a flippant way, in such a small, quick-fire thing. For it was a melody maker, it was, and it was just like it was stupid, and it was a stupid thing to say. But it's upset my gran, and I'm just like so gutted. Because I shouldn't have said it, but it shouldn't have been taken that I meant that I stood up and said, oh hallelujah, this drug.
Yeah.
It was terrible. My grandma's upset.
Claudia has it.
I do hate the media.
No, but it's my grandma that does not deserve to be upset. She's 8 years old, happy birthday, Nan, and I'm a good girl. I'm a good girl, and it's just like, this is stupid. It's stupid.
Claudia has a Thresher charge card, which is how far the booze has gone with you, isn't it?
Yes. I feel sorry for them. I didn't. I was about to be horrible about them. Horrible. I'm not quite sure who they are, but anyway.
They're the Backstreet Boys. They've had lots of hit records.
They don't go out with Brittany.
They are the boys from the Backstreets.
Yes, exactly.
I know them very well. Let's move on. More of the day's music news, or the week's rather. It's rapidly become one of the biggest events. You're right there, love.
No.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get you some drinks in the
Can we
morning.
hurry this up?
One of the events on the Piggity Pop calendar, and this week's London Capital FM's Party in the Park lived up to all showbiz expectations. Among the Hyde Park highlights were the 4 men led away for waving their knackers at Hearsay, and Jerry Halliwell led away for medical examination after looking more like a ladyboy than a lady. Rebecca Cooper watched with gaping mouth for Liquid News.
Jerry arrived with something big and throbbing between her legs, but forgot her trousers. Luckily, she didn't actually try and ride the thing because it dwarfed her on stage. Stripping was obviously the mood of the afternoon. Usher went for it with some success. And it continued to be a theme backstage.
That's what happens when you don't have a belt.
Oh, I have to say that was beautifully timed. He recovered his composure and his jeans and then went on to compete with Cisco, Wyclef and Shaggy over his success with the ladies.
I think it's my winning personality because I'm quite short and I'm kind of funny looking in the morning.
If a man is sexy, he don't need to say it. All he needs to do is smile.
Who's the sexiest? Of course me. What do you think I'm going to say? Somebody else?
It's now considered to be one of London's biggest one-day musical events, with 100,000 people crammed into this corner of Hyde Park. It's 8 hours of non-stop musical entertainment, with many of the artists flying in especially. And one of those was Anastasia, who confessed she's suddenly single.
I'm quite depressed, so needless to say, I want many cards of sympathy.
Which, of course, impressed a lot of the lads, especially Damage.
I met Anastasia, and I know she's an older woman to me. She's beautiful, and she had my tongue on the floor.
Which leads us nicely onto Emma Bunton, who sadly didn't want to enter the media hype feud with her and Jerry, but did want to set the record straight on her and Jade.
It's really scary because I'm very young and he's very young, and we're having lots of fun and we're dating, and everyone keeps putting this pressure on. It's like...
And talking of setting the record straight, Atomic Kitten weren't too happy to be accused of miming.
Christopher, boy!
We thought you liked us, we really like you, and then you've been horrible. If you do it again, we'll come there and kick your butt.
He deserves a bit of a spanking, I think.
And stop flirting with Wyclef.
Not a nice spank.
Stripping and spanking all in one Sunday afternoon. Rebecca Cooper, BBC News.
It's all kicked off with the kittens, but we gave them the right to reply there. Well, if you were with us last week, on last week's show at Mardi Gras, we pointed out that maybe the miming, which everyone was doing, wasn't that particularly accurate. That's all. Now, we're giving them the right to reply, and they're lovely.
I saw a miming on Party in the Park. They were rubbish at it. They were rubbish at it, fact.
They were live at Party in the Park. Now, don't start that all over again. Hopefully they're coming on the show because they're adults and they can take it. Bit of give and take. It's an adult world. Claudia, just briefly on this. This looked like fun.
Fantastic fun.
But all the people there are adults, all the people who aren't buying these people singles. So maybe we should stop whinging about pop.
Yeah, but I love pop. Look, pure and simple. I do the dance. I love that. I'm pop mad, me.
Cerys, you are as well. You took your parents to see Steps.
I did, yeah.
Did you?
I cried at the Steps concert.
When?
Wasn't that bad, was it?
Cuddle.
Why?
No, because it's just like, it was Christmas time and my mum and dad were there. And there was all these kids there and they were just having a brilliant time. See these kids' faces, they're in complete rapture.
Yeah.
Like that, and it's just like immense, the whole of Wembley Stadium. I know it's daft and I know it's just like sentimental and that, but it was just brilliant. And Lisa came out and she's like a little fairy going, Oh, put that away.
I'm sorry. Yeah, she's got
Put
it
it
out,
away.
hasn't she? For goodness' sake.
Put it away.
There's another ongoing relationship. Wyclef Jean was on last week's show. Everyone's got a cough, but he's got a special message for us from Party in the Park. Let's listen to Wyclef.
I was on Liquid News. Oh yeah, with Christopher. Oh my God, I know what station this is. Yo.
Hey, because he's now your bitch, is that right? You said.
Man, yo, I know what news this is. I have to watch what I say because I know it will get edited in the wrong way. It'll get chopped up. Wyclef Jean up next on Liquid News. He said Christopher's his bitch. What?
Well, it's true. You're the first person to say that about Christopher.
Christopher's cool. Christopher's all right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Wyclef's bitch.
I thought you were my bitch, you little...
I've resigned from being your bitch.
Yeah, well, you're never
so you
right.
weren't bitch enough for me. So there we go. Anyone's bitch? No? No, good. I just like to identify that.
Okay.
Now, moving on, she's famously never thrown her knickers at Tom Jones, but I guess tonight Cerys Matthews has definitely duetted the legend. Her band, Catatonia, have been drinking eggnog and eating twiglets and watching This Morning for the past 18 months, having a little bit of a break, but they're now back with a new single and a handful of tour dates. Let us peruse together the back Catatonia catalogue.
Things are getting strange, I'm starting to worry. This could be a case for Melvin and Skelly. Things are getting strange, now I can't sleep alone. You stopped us from killing each other. You'll never know, but you saved our lives. I've never thrown my knickers at you. And I don't come from Wales. 'Cause you and I know it's all over the front page. You give me road rage, racing to the best days. It's up to you, boy, you're driving me crazy. Thinking you may be losing your mind. Ain't a war. Make hay not war. Make hay not war. Or else we're done for. D4W down. I'll be a karaoke queen, it's not me. You see, I'm gonna take you down to a place I know you'd rather be. I simply must go.
Oh, baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
You know it's cold outside.
This welcome has been
I'm lucky that you dropped
so nice and warm.
Look out the window.
Very serious look on your face when you were just raising your leg in the air with Mr. Tom Jones there.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with him around.
He's quick, isn't he?
Oh,
In.
that's
In and out.
experience. Yeah, without
In
you-
seconds. I'm not
without
starting with Tom Jones, though.
Yes. Experience of him?
Yes.
Good.
He's taken me roughly.
Has he?
Yeah, God almighty, what a night that was.
Cerys, how does it feel watching the back catalogue and stuff? Do you enjoy it?
It's quite scary, isn't it? Terrible, terrible taste I've got.
There was a
Taste
steps
of
routine
clothes.
in there at one stage with the nurses, I
Yeah,
felt.
the karaoke queen one, yes. I really wanted to be pop then, and I still do it in my own way, but I can't dance.
However,
Okey-doke.
have you not taken ballet lessons during your mammoth holiday?
I have actually added a ballet for adults, yes. Have you? Yes.
Is that naked ballet?
Oh, Christopher.
No, for
You have to
adults.
debase everything.
I'm sure it's clothed, isn't it?
No,
Do you
actually,
do-
we're
did
reading
you wear-
Shakespeare while doing ballet, fully
Right.
clothed.
And pliés and all those
Pliés,
positions.
pirouettes,
Yeah.
arabesques, the whole lot, yeah.
Show us some now on the table.
Let's just talk about
Shall I?
it's not according to my notes here. It's not supposed to go like this at all. But that's you can stay in that position if
no,
you
no, I
wish.
shan't, because
Let's just
my country pétan ends there.
let's talk about the break because during the hectic promo tour that you had
Yes.
coming up in '99, why did it all kind of stop? What had happened to you?
Because I got, I don't know, I just got tired and I didn't think we were putting in a good enough show, really. So I wanted to stop, so to go home and then gain more experience. You know,
Hence the
I
ballet.
just wanted to get ballet, watercolour, water skiing, potholing, anything but going on a tour bus and going on the road again, because I've been doing that since about '93.
Yeah.
And like, and I just thought it would be nice to just go and do different things, and hopefully write better songs as a result, you know.
Was there a moment when you thought, I don't want to actually go back?
Yeah, like now. I don't want to go home.
You want to pothole, don't you? Right now.
Let's talk about
Have you tried potholing?
No, I
Have you
don't.
tried potholing? Have you tried potholing?
I think I might get
What does
stuck.
potholing involve?
That's just going underground, isn't
Yeah,
it?
going underground and...
You don't get claustrophobic?
Yeah, but I met this guy on the
Underground.
train.
In fact, it was a mole.
Do you come here often? And he's been there for 4 years, you know, stuck in the same place. But I don't know.
We could talk about potholing. We could play the new single.
Oh, sorry.
Let's talk
definitely.
about No, let's have the new single, Stone by Stone. We'll talk about the other material on the album in just a moment. Let's have the clip. Let's go to it. Now, you say that you write the best music when you're angry, a little bit tetchy, you know, you and the whole group. How are we angry at the moment? Were we angry when writing that, or just pleasantly okay?
No, that's actually not angry, that song.
No, that one's not, but some of the other stuff, Fuel, that's a bit of an angry one, isn't it?
Do you think it's angry?
Apparently. It's about, you know,
You
fuel.
haven't heard it?
Fuel.
Yes.
No, we all have.
Well, Fuel...
Fuel protests over the summer, angry at that.
Yeah, but this song, Fuel, that we wrote was written before the fuel crisis, which is...
So you predicted.
Oh, clever.
Spooky.
Like it.
Psychic Cerys.
And I couldn't get to the studio to sing it, and that's the truth, because I didn't have no fuel. And that's the truth.
I ran out of petrol during the fuel strike and I was stuck in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
No one would help me push the car because they thought I was filming it for a secret stunt.
Really?
Yeah, I was there for an hour.
Look
at the telly, I'm not going to help you. And so I got angry.
No, they just didn't like you.
Yeah.
I have to move on that note. They're screaming at me to move on from that anecdote, unfortunately.
Please
so
do.
the new single out on July 6th, that's Monday, isn't it? Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's nice, isn't it? Just a note about our BBC Choice website. All the day's latest entertainment stories regularly updated. This is a live shot of it right now. Lots of competitions with sandwiches for prizes. You can also download the Daily Choice show and you can find out what music I like to make out to.
What do you like?
It's so foul, that
Peter
thought,
Andre, isn't it?
Yeah.
Girl, talent, girl.
How do you know that? Yeah.
What is it?
Coming, Rowan Atkinson and Bean Star car crash, and Denise Van Outen keeps it fishy up west. This is Liquid TV. Rowan Atkinson has escaped unhurt after crashing a sports car at a race meeting in County Durham. The comic was driving an Aston Martin V8 Zagato when it left the track and hit a barrier. It's not the first time the Blackadder star has left the Grim Reaper sulking. In March, he successfully landed a Cessna light aircraft after the pilot passed out, and in 1999 he walked away unhurt after crashing a £650,000 McLaren race car.
Is that you, Chris?
It's like the beginning of Casualty, isn't it? Each week it looks a little bit like that. The ghost of Miss Piggy has returned to thwack Frank Oz around his fuzzy chops. The voice of the pig has fallen out with porcine Marlon Brando after directing him in The Score. That movie premiered in LA this week. The director was forced to watch Brando's performance on a monitor from another room and then send directions via co-star Robert De Niro. Marty Marlon, who plays an elderly gay crook orchestrating the biggest heist of his career, also insisted on calling Frank Oz Miss Piggy throughout the shoot. Not actual film footage we had there, you may have guessed. Denise Van Outen has agreed to continue pulling on the fishnets and figure-hugging bodice to enchant the West End. High-kicking Denise has decided to extend her run in Chicago after receiving rave reviews for her role as Roxy Hart. But while Chicago is going from strength to strength, other West End musicals are suffering. Andrew Lloyd Webber's Beautiful Game is to be axed after only a year because nobody wants to go and see it. which is a bit of a problem if no one wants to go and see it. Claudia, tell me, what would you like to see in the West End?
Nothing.
Okay.
Musicals make me feel physically sick. Bile rises. This one, actually, I did go and see, was all right, because it wasn't like a musical. What I hate is when... I know. I often am. But that's all right. I don't like it when they just suddenly break into song, and they do that a lot, and they sat there thinking, I think it's time for a song. Yeah, tits and teeth, and they wear horrible outfits. I don't like musicals. Am I being too harsh?
Yeah, you're being harsh.
Iain, I can see you upping it in the West End.
I want to see you in Miss Saigon. That would be perfect, don't you think? You'd be great in Miss Saigon.
No, shoot me if I ever try and
All
appear
about
in a musical,
cats,
please.
animals, dogs, that kind of thing. Should we be seeing more of that? Perhaps?
Yeah, let's see cats, animals and dogs singing on stage. What?
No, beef, maybe beef, because
Beef,
you know,
musical The Beef.
they're not welcome in the country
Exclamation
anymore.
mark.
They're not welcome in the country. Get them into
Cows.
West End.
Cows?
Yes, mad
Yeah,
cows.
instead of cats, just cows.
Cows, yes.
A lot of moving.
Exclamation mark, cows, live.
Yeah.
Would you ever do West End?
No.
Yes, you would. 10 years,
How much
10 years
money?
time, you will.
How much money? No,
Martin
I agree with
McCutcheon,
Claudia.
45 grand a week.
I totally agree with Claudia.
See, look, cats on motorbikes, cats screaming, it's just the rage, and it's just very popular.
Cats should be still in Africa.
What?
Sorry? Cats should be what?
Even my cat should be still in Africa. My cat I got from North London. It's not African.
Yeah, little tiddles.
Do you know, can I just say, like, all these, like, garden makeover things?
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Low maintenance, they say gravel. Do you know what I say? That means cat shit.
Yeah.
It's no good.
Is that your gardening tip for everyone at home? You want cat shit? Get some gravel.
You're going to be the new gardening expert on this morning. You can do that.
I've got a column.
You do remind me of Alan Titchmarsh quite a bit. What's been said?
Let's just gather our thoughts for our final
Please.
item. Thank you, everyone. Before we go, the witch hubbling and bubbling over Potter's phallic faux pas. This is Liquid Life. Yes, a British witch is claiming that Harry Potter is riding his broomstick back to front. The sensational claim made by a Sussex man wearing a druid's cape is based on analysis of 16th century etchings. He's now vowed to put a spell on the film production. Reporting from the Hastings Coven for Liquid News, Steph West.
This is a classic broomstick, and this is how you ride it.
Like this.
Kevin owns 10 black cats and is head of the Coven of Earth Witches, which has more than 1,600 members. He's not happy that Harry and his witching hour pals are putting the stick before the brush when flying broom.
A lot of people don't realise that the broomstick and the connection with witches is actually phallic. So this would actually be the penis of a male, and the female witches would dance around on it to, as well as fly, get a buzz.
Can we say penis? Movie aficionados are always on the lookout for mistakes. The classic boom mic and shot. The continuity errors.
And the times when things simply just don't sound right.
No matter how much they spend on continuity and research, studios will never win. The current gaff count on Pearl Harbor is more than 50. James Cameron's quest for authenticity was such, he devised a submarine camera to dive and film the original Titanic. Yet eagle-eyed critics just argued waves lapping the ship were going in the wrong direction. But the makers of Harry Potter must surely think this latest complaint is right off the gaffometer.
Yes, we've cast a spell. It's not a curse or anything nasty. It's just to make the sales of the film slump a little bit so that they get the idea that real witches are real people and they have real powers.
Highly unlikely. TV rights are about to sell for £50 million, even though TV networks have only been allowed to see 15 minutes of the movie. Brooms will surely fly before Kevin gets an apology call from Warner Brothers. Stephanie West, BBC News.
Riding a broomstick, anyone here?
Oh, you look like a woman.
He's bonkers.
You ride the broomstick with the brush at the back. Everyone
course
knows
you do.
that. Which basics?
And did he mention about the female one being the brush and the broom, and there's different ones?
No. We didn't get to that much detail, unfortunately, in the story. I
No
apologise.
bush chat.
Can I just say thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Rambunctious, but it's been fun.
Pleasure.
Is that it?
Thank you very much, Cerys,
It's
for
been
being
too
here.
short, darling.
It's been a full half hour. That's it from us. So we'll be back here next Thursday here on BBC One. And please catch the daily live edition over on Choice at 8:30. My name's Christopher Price. Goodbye.
Meet Alex and his wife Lizzie.
For as much as it has pleased Almighty God. Brave as a little duck straight.
Stephanie Cole. And Richard Wilson.
Sometimes I think God has a really cracking sense of humour.
Life as We Know It, a brand new comedy series. Starts 22nd of July on BBC One.
I want to take you on a journey
a journey out there.
It's the biggest story ever told.
For every grain of sand, there are 1 million stars out there in space.
The cosmos
Beginning, none of it was here.
is about to unfold.